catered more to an older audience too.
I do like how dark. I like how dark it went because it goes into a very dark place and is like a very relatable place, and I think it teaches an important lesson. But the way they got there was very bland to me.
I think the way they got there wasn't as okay. That makes sense. I could agree with that, but I mean, I just personally thought it was good. I got teary-eyed a couple of times in the movie. I thought the songs kind of got me singing it, which was helpful. Yeah, there was a couple of those songs that like I felt it. And I think that it was it was focused on the relationships between the sisters, the Kristoff and Anna character, that relationship, how close. Like I kind of like those kinds of things, and like really focus on the family aspect of the movie, like each one of the relationships and kind of going through like I think now I'm tongue tied, but like how the women are. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm getting at here. Like the women are such a strong aspect in their relationship. Their sisterly bond is so strong, and I think that is really cool. That's what I'm trying to say. I think I love that bonding relationship, and I love that they were showing that and saying like they didn't need the male to come in and help them, or like she like kept all that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah,
thought that was cool. I don't know. That was just spitting bullshit out of my mouth there.
Yeah,
but
I like all the ideas. I like that. I like their relationship. There are a lot of things I like about it, but the way it all came together felt very uninspired.
Okay.
And felt like they were just like laying out these points that need to happen. They were just like, this needs to happen, and this needs to happen, and this needs to happen. And I didn't feel... I don't know. I didn't feel like it was a real journey. I just think that it was just like them making sure they got to each of those points.
I think that they were kind of taking away certain things from... I don't want to give away. I guess I don't want to give...
I guess we'll just go. We'll just
sure?
Talk,
I don't want to spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Frozen 2, this is when you should stop listening to the podcast. We might give away some things in the podcast.
Yeah, pause it, go see it, and then unpause it.
Pause it right now. See it. We're going to wait for 5 seconds. Ready? Spoiler alert. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone good? Okay. I think they took a thing away from Anna each throughout the movie. They were taking away someone that felt like they needed, that to show that this strong woman can do this by herself. Like, not that she didn't have the help, but like they took Elsa from her because Elsa was whatever, and she had to figure that out without Elsa. Kristoff wasn't there to help her, and then Olaf dies, and then she's alone, and she sings that song about like doing the right thing and how thinking of the bigger picture is too much for her. But if she just takes one step forward and she does this next task she has to do, which she has to get up and climb this hill, and then she has to jump over this thing, and then she's got to climb up, and she just looks at it by taking that little task, whatever, then she can accomplish the whole big feat and accomplish the goal that she needs to do and do the right thing. And I think that was really cool, and I think that part of the story, I think, was something that they were trying to get at. At least that's what I kind of got out of it, and I liked that they did there.
That makes sense, and I get it. I don't know. I guess I just didn't get it. That wasn't clear to me when I was watching it.
That wasn't clear to you when you were watching it?
Man, it was, but the thing you said about them like taking away each thing she thought she needed throughout, I guess I didn't think about.
I kind of just thought about that a little while ago. That kind of just came to my head.
But that makes a lot of sense. And
that makes me feel kind of smart. Because I don't know if that's at all what they entailed, but that's what I got from it. And I thought that was cool. Because, like, you could have a lot of things or bad things happen to you, and then... But if you just go, I think the moment... I think a lot of people on the internet have been talking about the moment where Kristoff comes and gets her, and he goes, what do you need? And, like, not saying, like, the male has to take over. Like, I had a lot of, like, girlfriends that were posting stuff about that, which is... Yeah. It is pretty cool. It is cool to have a character, like, to represent that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought like she doesn't have the powers and she's still doing what she has to do, and she had to figure that out by her own. Because I think when Olaf melted away, that wasn't cool. I didn't like that. That got me.
Really?
Yeah, I
didn't get nothing. Maybe I wasn't in the like.
Yeah, Miles. I was in that whole story. I don't
know. Usually I connect with things like that, but like, and really like that message is so relatable, and like feeling like down and not like being overwhelmed by the bigger picture and just remembering to just take it one step at a time. That's so relatable, and what everyone is going through, what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And I should have, but I did not feel, I saw that, and I saw what they were saying, but I didn't feel connected to it.
Okay. I mean, sometimes you don't hit, like, I mean, there's times where I'll see a movie and then you see it and then everyone, like, gets this immediate feeling on it, or, like, this is what they meant. And sometimes it takes me a few times to see the movie, like, oh, I get it now, or you just don't see it. Like, I don't know what movie I could say, but I know there's numerous times I've people will be like, that's what that movie was showing. I'm like, I didn't get that.
I know what it's showing. I just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't affect me emotionally.
Maybe I was just being really emotional today. I opened myself up to it a little bit.
Maybe
more.
I'm not emotional. Maybe I'm not
maybe
open
you're a
today.
Robot.
Maybe today was just not a good day to see this, because usually I cry at almost everything. I tear up at almost everything.
I've never seen you cry.
One time. I don't like cry like just in general, but like if I'm watching like a movie, or if I'm watching a play or a musical, like a lot of the time when I'm watching art or experiencing
you'll let yourself get wrapped.
It does make me emotional. Yeah,
you'll get into it.
But I didn't. I felt very disconnected from Frozen, and I wanted to like
disconnected.
Yeah, and I went in really wanting to like be into it. Like I didn't go in wanting to hate it or not like.
Do you feel like you went in with higher expectations? Like, do you think you went in like with like, oh, this is going to be really good, and then it just doesn't live up? Because I feel like I went in and thought sequels don't tend like something like a lot of times sequels are just whatever, and I was pleasantly surprised to say that I thought it was better because I thought it connected with an adult or a grown up. I think it did really well with like there's going to be moments that the kids are going to like it, but I do think that it did kind of cater to an older group of people, and I think that's why I liked it more, because I didn't feel like I was really like I didn't sit there watching like I'm watching a fucking kid show, or I know it's a kid show, but it didn't make me feel that way the entire time. I felt like I'm watching a movie, an animated movie that I love watching those kinds of movies, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I thought Olaf was hilarious.
Yeah, Olaf was great. I love Olaf.
Josh Gad is awesome. I love that man.
Yeah, I thought Olaf would be annoying.
Yeah, I think I might have thought that too, but yeah, he didn't annoy me. Nobody really annoyed me.
I didn't that Kristoff moment. I've heard people talk about that Kristoff moment where it goes into like that 90s music video vibe.
Oh, that was awesome.
And I thought I would love that, but I didn't love it when they did it. I wanted to love it so bad.
I loved it.
But there was something about it that just didn't like.
Did you feel like it was corny?
Click with me. I'm fine with corny. I love corny. You know, I love that kind of stuff. Like for them to just like break away and do like this weird 90s corny like love song.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I felt like it was poorly executed. I felt like they were doing it, but they weren't doing it all the way.
Oh, you felt like they didn't. You felt like they didn't commit to doing it 100%.
Yeah, I don't think they committed to the bit.
Well, maybe they weren't. Maybe they were just trying to give like. I think that if they would have, I probably wouldn't have liked that. I feel like with what you're saying, like I think they were giving that vibe, but they were like, "This is also." I thought that song wasn't supposed to, like. Do you feel like that song was supposed to be silly? Because I actually thought that was like it got me a little bit. I was like,
I thought it was supposed to be silly. I wanted to laugh, but nothing about it made me laugh.
It made me be like, oh, this guy, he's just trying to figure out why he wants to be with this. Like, I was like, that's me. That's me right there. I'm him. Wow. I'm more sensitive than you, though. But
I'm a very sensitive person.
Yeah, but I'm like ultra sensitive. Ultra. But, I mean, I really liked it. I would endorse everyone to see it.
Yeah, go see it if you want to see it.
Go see it. Do you have any more thoughts on that movie?
I'd go see it again.
You'd go see it again? Maybe today wasn't your day.
Yeah, maybe today just wasn't the day to go see Frozen 2.
Like, sometimes you have those things, like, I'll see, like, a play or something, and it's, for some reason that day I'm not into it. I'm just like, I don't want to see, like, I'm not going to connect to anything.
Yeah.
Everything's weird, man.
What else happened in there?
I love the empowering, the sibling love. I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's good.
The two sisters thing. I don't feel like that's such an important thing that it rings that family should always be, should not be trumped over. Family should trump everything. And my family is the most important thing to me. So, like, no girl, guy, whatever it is, should ever be more important than your sister, your brother, like, making sure they're okay. That should never be it. Because I think sometimes we take that for granted. We take our family for granted because they're always there. We see them all the time. And one day they're not going to be there. I don't know. They're home. Yeah. Maybe I just miss my family a lot. I've been home in like a year. So.
I feel like there are different kinds of families. You have like your family, biological family.
Well, yeah.
But you also have your chosen family.
Yeah. You're my adopted family.
You adopted me?
I adopted you.
You're my father?
I'm your dad. I'm your dad, bro.
I'm your dad, man.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm your dad. I paid Mr. Phillips a lot of money, and now I'm your dad.
I don't think he would just sign me away to...
He did.
Some guy.
No, I'm your dad. That's how it works. But yeah. Okay.
Well...
that was great.
Yeah. I would give it... Let's see.
Well, I'll give it... we have 5 stars? 1 to 5?
I'm going to give it... Yeah, 5. I'm going to give it 3.5 Corona Lights.
3.5 Corona Lights.
Out of 5.
Well... See, the 1 to 5 star rating thing is really hard for me because I feel like if you go 4, you're almost at 5. I'm not going to give it a 5. I go 4. I would go 4 on like the scale.
Okay, 1 to 10.
If you're 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7 or 8. I'm probably in that range, 7 or 8. Like, it's not the greatest movie I've ever seen.
I'd give it a 6.
You give it a 6? See, yeah, 6 seems low. Yes. I'd probably 7.5, 8, maybe 8. I'd probably go 8. I really liked it. I'm trying to think of like what I would classify as a 9 or 10. Like Lion King to me is a 10, and Aladdin and Hercules are like a 9 and a 10. So it doesn't like it ain't better than those movies, but I thought it was really good. So I'll go 8. I'll go 8. 8. Scale 1 to 10. I'm gonna give Frozen 2 an 8. I'd give Frozen 1 a 6.5.
On a scale of good movie, bad movie, I rate this a good movie.
Yeah, good movie. Good movie. Like The Joker, great movie.
Okay, we can talk about The Joker.
You know what? We need to talk about The Joker, Miles. Actually, that is something we do need to talk about. Let's go off of our little thing right now. Because have I talked to you about how I felt about that movie?
No.
All right. If anyone here follows Miles on social media, Miles was hell-bent that he hated, I would say is correct. He thought he hated The Joker. The Joker is the new movie with Joaquin Phoenix that came out. That is following the beginning of the Joker villain in the DC universe. Batman's arch rival. Probably the most popular villain, I would say, in probably comic book history and like superhero. Like, I'm trying to think. There's not the Joker is a big deal villain. Everyone knows who the Joker is.
Yeah,
he's probably the most popular villain in all of comic book history. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think of the Marvel Universe or the DC Universe. I think the DC Universe also, that's another podcast we can do, talk about superheroes.